what I'd like to do, because this is a story of Patagonia, an interesting fishing story, but I'd like to just catch a pan fry here that I can cook on the fire while I'm doing the fireside chat. Just makes things a little more interesting. The stories are interesting and intriguing as well, but if I can catch a pan fry to cook up to go along with the story, even better. I got one. Oh, just a little cutty. Maybe I can get another one. There we go. Yeah, he's about 8 inches. Good enough. Didn't take long. But you know how it goes with fishing, especially in a survival situation. You don't want to quit, so maybe I won't. Cool. I got another one here. Another smaller cutty. He's similar to the other one. Maybe a smidgen bigger. He won't stop flopping around, but I think this guy is maybe an inch longer. We'll compare the two and get on with our fireside chat. It's a good fishing story from Patagonia. Okay, so I was right. The one I just got now, if I hold them perfectly straight to each other, about an inch longer. I don't know, I don't have to measure them. The one is probably close to 10 inches. The other one's 8.5 maybe. But anyways, nice little pan fries to start with our fireside chat. Let's get on it. Fish is done. I love fish, I just do. That is good. Nothing like fresh trout out of the lake into a frying pan. So, Patagonia. 2016, Alone Season 3. And it was day 42. Okay. Now, I was down on my luck. Now, I'm telling you, like, it was very discouraging at this point because I hadn't caught any fish in several days. And, man, I was getting hungry. All I was living on at that time was plantain tea. I would check my fishing set lines at the lake, at the creek, nothing on them. Couple of times I checked lines and the bait was gone, but no fish. So when you go several days without eating like that, it's very discouraging. But the interesting part of this story is how this particular day turned out. It's quite something. I went from the highest high, or the lowest low, to the highest high all in one day. And you know, I've talked to a lot of the people from the Alone show, other seasons as well. I know quite a few from various seasons. And I noticed that there's something in common that we all had, anybody that gets on the show. You can go from super low, depressed, because you're not getting what you need, no food, to super high when you get a big game animal or catch a fish. So it's just up and down like a roller coaster, your emotions. But this was actually probably the worst day to begin with that turned out to be one of the best days. So I went out. I'm going to check my lines. It's getting a little hot here now. And I checked the first line, nothing. Second line, nothing. Third line, nothing. I had 4 lines, I believe. No, I had 5. So fourth line, nothing as well. I checked my last line, which was on a creek. Now there was a big stump or log that went across the creek from one side to the other. And there was a pool right where this log was that was maybe 6 feet deep. Okay. And I get to that 5th line, and I actually had the biggest fish that I had caught the entire time I was there. It was like a really nice, probably 3-pound rainbow. And it was on my line, but it was wrapped around these branches and sticks and everything at the bottom of this 6-foot pool of water. But anyway, I got a long stick and I'm trying to work this fish off of these tangled roots and sticks and everything, like from the big log, because I mean it's right there at the bottom, but I mean it's not like I want to dive in really and get it. I played around for, I don't know, 15 or 20 minutes with this fish trying to unravel it, but it went around different branches and this and that, and I just could not get this fish off, and it's fighting the whole time. So I don't know how long it had been on there, but regardless, I played around with it until it snapped the line. Right near its mouth, I could see it snapped the line, and the fish just took off up the creek. Well, you know, you get so depressed when things like this happen, and you really need something to eat. I remember I sat down on the log, and I'm just thinking, man, I gotta get something to eat. And by now, I'm actually down to 4 hooks, because I had 5 hooks, but the fish broke off. I was using my last 5 hooks at this point. That'll be another story why I lost so many hooks to begin with. Like within the first 2 weeks, I had lost most of my hooks because there were so many snags in the lake and this and that. Finally, I went to bobbers instead of going to the bottom. But in this particular creek, I went to the bottom kind of thing because it was usually safe to fish there doing it that way. But anyway, so now I sat down on this log and I'm thinking, well, man, I don't know what to do. So depressing, so depressed. I sat down there and I actually prayed. I remember praying, man, just give me something to eat today. Just something. Really need something. I did that and I felt better. Emotionally, just asking for some help. I just felt way better. So I carried on upstream. I had collected some of the hooks from my other set lines. I'm going to go up the creek, do some more hand line fishing. Like, not set lines right now, but just do some fishing further upstream. So I went up quite a ways and I found a nice looking little spot to try some fishing. I dug up a couple worms and baited the hook up, tied a little rock on, threw it out into this good looking spot where it was a pool and kind of went into slow moving water. Just kind of like worked it. Well, within 2 minutes, wham, I had a nice one on. And this one was even bigger. This was like a 3.5-pound rainbow right away. And I got that one in, no problem, and I couldn't even believe it. Like, it was just, everything's going good now. So now your whole attitude just changes. It's unreal. Now I got enough fish for 2 days now. So man, what a relief it was to just get that one fish. Anyway, so now I head back after a little bit. I fished a bit more, but I didn't get anything. Doesn't matter. I've got that real nice fish now. I head back down. I'm going to set my lines again. Okay. So I go to that big log across. That's the first one I'm going to set on the way back because it was the last one I had checked. And I get there, and I'm going to set my line. I should explain too, like this log was like halfway in the creek underwater and half of it above the water. Okay, so I get back there and I'm getting ready to set my line, and I just look up the creek a little bit, and I see this fish floating down the creek, and it came right up to the log that I'm going to set my line on and just stopped. It was the fish that got away on me and went upstream. Imagine. So now I got two fish. I got that one back and my hook back. So what a day. I mean, this fishing is just going great now. I retrieved my hook and got my fish back. Now, it just doesn't seem like coincidence to me the way some things go sometimes. And that wasn't even the end of the day. So now I'm hiking back to camp, which was a bit of a hike. You know, probably half an hour hike because my fishing spots were where my camp was, you know, I had some set lines in the lake, but I had some in this creek, and that's where I was coming from. I'm hiking back, and I look at this trail. I'm thinking, you know, it's kind of strange because you know, it was thick forest there where the trail was to my fishing spots at the creek. But I look through the thick bush and I kind of see light. Just the way the sun was shining. It was shining on this patch of green at the bottom. And I thought, well, what is that down there? And it was kind of a greenish, yellow, red colors. I thought, I don't know, I gotta go check that out. I didn't really want to hike in there because you're kind of tired. I haven't eaten for a while. But I hiked in there anyways. It wasn't that far. Fought my way through the jungle to get to this clearing. Well, lo and behold, this whole swampy little section of maybe half an acre, not even, was just loaded with berries. The berry bushes were just hanging, like it was so thick with berries in that one little patch. It was just unbelievable. Now, I didn't pick any berries that day, but I came back the next day and I picked berries in there for 2 or 3 days straight, which got me through a hard situation too, because I would just ration myself with a handful of berries a day, you know, and I must have picked 50 pounds of berries by the time I was done the next day in that patch. So, you know, it just doesn't seem like this whole day was coincidence. You pray about something, and these things just happen like that, one after the other. Catching the biggest fish, retrieving my other fish, finding this huge patch of berries that kept me going for days after that. So, you know, it sometimes makes you wonder, doesn't it? But I love getting out in nature, and I've got a couple other stories from Patagonia that are quite unique as well. I'm going to keep up with the Fireside chats. I think a lot of you enjoy them, but that's an amazing story. And I can even tell you stories that others have told me from their experiences on the Alone Show. I'll have to talk to them first, probably. It's easy to get discouraged in life, but just remember, sometimes things turn around and are totally different. So you can go from the worst low to the greatest high all in the same day. So keep the faith, be patient, don't get depressed, don't get discouraged. Hopefully some of you find encouragement from my little fishing story, and I really appreciate all of you watching, appreciate you subscribers, appreciate all you viewers, and I really hope that I cheered some of you up with my little fishing story in Patagonia. And we'll see you on the next Fireside Chat. I'm working on a couple other videos that'll be out soon as well. So keep the notifications on the bell. And I'll see you on the next Fireside Chat. Thanks.